Welcome to Easy English, and this is your online mentor Rajiv sir. As I told you, today we are going to discuss about how to write a composition correctly. While writing a composition, few things should be kept in mind. First of all, what is checked in a composition? What is checked in a composition? That is very vital. In ICSE, you are supposed to write a composition on 300 to 350 words. Now, what is checked in a composition? First of all, the linguistic ability, the language, and the expression. What is expression? Expression means how your composition appeals to the readers. That is very important. How your composition appeals to the readers, that is very important. So, the next thing is that we are supposed to write a composition within 300 to 350 words. But you should keep in mind, it is not at all necessary that you have to write within 350 words, or if I write 10 words less or 5 words more, there is going to be a deduction of marks or penalization. It's not like that. You are not penalized for that. Need to write a compact composition. Now, what are the things you should follow first while writing a composition? You see, the most important thing about writing a composition, is a proper selection. That is very important. That you learn to select a proper topic. Every exam has first 15 minutes for reading the paper. That reading the paper gives you ample time for selecting the correct composition. Which composition you are going to write. Now, how do I make a perfect selection? How do I select the composition correctly? Doesn't at all matter. It does not at all matter whether I support the topic or I don't support the topic. The thing which matters is how many points I have on the topic. How many points do I have on the topic? That is the most important thing. If you have 5 or 6 points on the topic, you are very good. Whether you support it or not, it does not at all matter. So, make a proper selection. That is very important. Another thing, what happens while writing a composition, very often you will see what happens is that writing halfway when the half of the composition is written, most of the times we tend to see that what happens is again have to cut it because after writing half I forgot. I'm not getting any points here. What to do? So, it's very important. It is very, very important, dear students, first to, as soon as you get the answer sheet, to jot down the points, small points in phrases or in a word or in phrases, in short phrases, jot down the points. On what points you are going to write the composition on. This is very important. First and the foremost is jot down the points. As soon as you have the points in your hands, when you start writing, it will become very, very, very easy for you. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Keep in mind to jot down the points. After writing the composition, if you wish, you pen through it. If you don't, keep it like that. Doesn't matter. There is no penalization or marks deduction for that. Now, a perfect composition has an introduction. What is the introduction? An introduction is a paragraph where we introduce the topic. Okay, we say something about the topic. What are we going to write on the topic about? What are we going to write about? Just introduce the topic. So that comes the introduction. Next comes the body of the composition. The body of the composition. What is the body? The body of the composition is that part which is the thing which is asked for you. Whatever is asked from you, that thing makes up the body. You can divide a body into different paragraphs. You can make 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs, but make sure that there is a reason of breaking up the paragraphs. Okay, that means whatever is in the first paragraph, you don't have any continuation of it in the second paragraph. Whatever is in the second paragraph, you don't write it again in the third paragraph. If you don't get it, you can write it compactly as the total body as 1 or 2 paragraphs. Next, the composition ends with a thing called conclusion. Conclusion, where you sum up all the things. Whatever I wrote, I sum up in this. Now, there are many things to be kept in mind while writing a composition. First of all, your power of expression, power of imagination, how much you can make your imagination soar high, how much you can imagine. That is very important. But it's good to attempt a topic where you have a little idea about. Makes it very easier to write about it. Doesn't matter. You can imagine something else also. If that thing is not correct, it's not at all wrong. The technical side of the composition is not checked. What is checked is your power of imagination. How much you can imagine. That is very important. So, dear students, make your imagination soar to the extreme. That is very important. What is the second thing you should keep in mind? Make sure that there are no grammatical errors in a composition. That is very important. Okay, there shouldn't be any grammatical errors. It's not at all necessary that you have to use big, high-sounding words and languages like that. It's not at all that. Write in simple English, correct English. That is very important. Do not make any. Try to avoid, I would like to say do not make any. I'd like to say try to avoid grammatical errors, which is very, very, very important. Grammatical errors should be avoided. This is another very important thing. Third, your composition should not hurt any class, sect, race, or any sentiments. Keep this in mind. Nothing should be hurt there. We are here to describe a wonderful composition when we are writing a story, we are not here to hurt any particular person or any group of people. We are here to make our story enjoyable. Same way, our composition enjoyable to everyone. So make sure that it doesn't hurt any sentiments. And it's always good that you don't try to imagine yourself something what you are not. Very often this leads to the deduction of marks. Don't at all try to imagine yourself unless it is asked for. If it is asked for in the question, it's okay. Unless it is asked for in the composition or in the question, don't try to imagine yourself what you are not. If you are giving ICSE, then try to imagine yourself to be a student of 10, 11, 12 within this. If you are giving your ISC exams, it's good to imagine yourself as a student of 12 or highest 1 year more, not a person working. Not a person, I was going to a job, I was driving a car and all this, not like that. Okay, keep your imagination to what you are. Don't at all go on to imagine something else. And try not to make any mention of any negative substance, any narcotic substances or anything like that. Okay, good students, they have good choices. So naturally, the thing is that whenever we are writing a composition, we should keep in mind one thing, that we are not going to make any mention of any negative items in a composition. So these are the simple things you remember while writing a composition. We are going to discuss all the parts of the composition. What are the different types of composition? First of all is narrative, descriptive, story, writing for or against, picture. All the things in ICSE we are going to discuss step by step, followed by the composition of ISC in the upcoming videos. So these things, if you keep in mind, you can write any composition in a very nice way, in a very correct way. You can write any composition in a very correct way. So these are the things you should keep in mind while writing a composition. Keep watching Easy English for the upcoming videos, where the individual types of compositions and how to score in those compositions will be discussed in detail. Till then, keep watching, take care, stay healthy, and keep watching If English.